Hi, my name is Maddie, aka MJ's Geeky Glam, and welcome to my channel. So it's my first video, and today we are going to be doing, or at least attempting to do, Trixie Mattel's drag. And I will do a little preliminary. I'm a college student. I'm in my college dorm. I don't have a blonde wig. Okay, it's the face. The face will be Trixie. The hair is gonna be whatever it is right now. Also, I don't think this is the right move, so hold on just 1 second. I'm super excited, so we're gonna go ahead and start. Delightful. I don't know what I'm doing. So the first step is I'm going to be covering my eyebrows, which I'm in a makeup for theater and film class. Today we already covered our eyebrows, so this will be my second time covering my eyebrows today. Very fun. What I learned is, you know, most people, they're just gonna tell you to use your Elmer's purple glue stick, and what I was taught in class is if you have thick eyebrows, which if you can't tell, I do, you can use spirit gum. The first thing you're gonna want to do, don't take this as a tutorial. I should not treat this as a tutorial. I did learn today how to do this by people who professionally do film. So you know what, no, you can take this as a tutorial. You're gonna take this brush. This is a Ben Nye brush, comes in a standard Ben Nye kit. You're gonna want to really kind of rough up the eyebrows. Now that they're a bit roughed up, we're gonna take spirit gum. Nothing crazy or anything, but just put it in there. I'm gonna do one eyebrow at a time. Now that it's in there, I'm gonna take this and I'm going to, you can also use a spoolie for this if you want to. You might want to apply it in the direction where you're brushing, aka apply it in upward strokes. That might be a better idea because this is a choice. I'll really get in there and make sure she's slicked down to your face. I'm gonna go ahead and do this eyebrow really quick. Now that I have done both of these, this one didn't brush the way I wanted it to, but we're just gonna live with it. I'm gonna do another coat of spirit gum just to really lay the girls down. And I'm not gonna do like a super thick layer this time. I'm really just gonna kind of pat it on and then just brush. Make sure that I've kind of gotten it on every hair. I just dribbled spirit gum all down my hands. That's gonna suck later. But you really just want to get it smooth to your head, you know? Oh, you do want to let these dry. Spirit gum doesn't take a crazy long amount of time to dry though, so you don't have to worry about it too bad. Especially because once it's dry, which it is now, you're going to take your Elmer's purple washable glue stick. You're gonna take this girly, we're gonna pop her on. Now if you're using just glue, which is fine, especially if you have really thin eyebrows, it goes on a lot more purple. I feel like whenever you start off with the spirit gum, it doesn't go on as well. Like it slicks a little weird, I don't know. What you're gonna want to do though when you're applying this glue is make sure you're wiping. You can get the glue above and below your eyebrow a bit, but make sure that when you do, you at least like wipe it a little bit, just because like your foundation and whatnot, it's not going to apply very smooth to this glue base. And the glue does take a little bit longer to dry. Whip this girl out and just really. Now that that is done, which when you were doing your glue, you still might want to be pushing it up a little bit. I didn't with that layer just because I really wanted my base layer of glue. And usually when you're doing the glue, whether you're doing spirit gum or not, you're gonna do around 4 layers. Make sure it's completely dried in between though. So I'm gonna go ahead and do my second layer on camera, and really, you can just pack her in there. I mean, you don't have to go crazy with it, obviously. But one thing that's really nice is to just push it all up, and it'll feel like you're wiping it off. You're not, you're just really smoothing it, and then wipe off that extra above. You might get some little weird pieces, you know, Just want to do it while it's still pretty wet. Do this on the same thing on this eyebrow. I need to let this dry. I'm gonna do 2 more coats of glue off camera and make sure you're really letting it dry in between. A couple of quick things that I do want to say. If you start off with glue, you're gonna be a lot more purple in between, and if you start out with spirit gum, the more glue you add, like the more layers you do, the more purple it's gonna look before it dries. If you don't have a fan like this, that is more than okay. One thing that works really well is a blow dryer, a really cool setting. Also, I was telling you to like push it up. You don't have to do that every time. I feel like last time I did it, I had such a thin layer. I wanted a really nice thick layer in between, so that's what I did. You can do as many glue layers as you need to. Just do it until you feel like very smooth. Especially one thing I've seen is, like, I've got a lamp right here to give me some better lighting. Watch the way the light hits your eyebrow when you turn your head. You want to make sure that it's not popping out. You want to make sure that it is flush with your face, which I've only done one other glue coat since I've stopped recording. But I mean, you theoretically can do too many layers of glue, but unless you're doing a crazy number, do it until you feel comfortable, honestly. I would say at least 4. But if you want to do like 6 or 7, I don't know if I'd recommend it, but if it makes you feel better about it, then go ahead. I mean, makeup doesn't have rules. I mean, there's rules, but nobody actually follows the rules of makeup. I'm not gonna be following any rules of makeup today, so I hope y'all know that. But yeah, I'm gonna finish letting this dry, do another coat, and then I'll be back with you. Now that my last coat is fully dried, which you want that last coat to be like really, I mean, you want to fully dry each one, but this one, make sure it's really dry. You can really tell by like pressing your finger down and then seeing if it's still like really sticky. This is dry by my standards. So next thing you want to do is we're gonna color correct. I would recommend using a kind of peachy orange tone, especially if you have darker eyebrows like I do. If you have like reddish tinted eyebrows, you might want to mix in a tad bit of green into it. Follow color theory. That's, I guess, the easiest way to say it. I mean, don't put like neon green over your eyebrows and then get mad when it doesn't work. But because I just have pretty standard dark brown, I'm going to be using if I can open it. I'm gonna be using this peachy yellowy orange shade. It is technically tattoo cover and it's shade apricot, so that's fun. It's not gonna work for everyone, obviously. Really and truly, you just want to use, you know, your gut, kind of what you think would cover it for you. And then also, you might want to look it up, like if I have this color eyebrow, what do I, you know, you're not gonna get it perfect the first time, let's be honest. Also, I keep saying this isn't a tutorial and I give directions as if it is a tutorial, but oh yeah, most people would probably use a brush for this. I'm not. I don't feel like using a brush right now. I don't want to get a brush out, so I'm using my fingers. Sue me. That is something I am really down for, is using fingers for makeup. A lot of people are like, no, that's gross, that's weird. And if I was working on somebody else, yeah, I'd be a little more careful. I wouldn't use my fingers for everything. But on my own face, I really don't see an issue with it. Some people will be like, oh, blah, 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 blah. I just don't care enough, I guess. But now that I've got a coat of that, it's not fully covered, but it is doing something. I'm gonna kind of blend it a little bit around with my fingers. I know. I'm gonna get some powder. I'm using the Ben Nye Fair powder because it's what's in my kit. I do have the translucent Marron at home, and I do quite like that too. But yeah, you want to really set that girly. Maybe that was a little too much actually, but it'll be okay because it just will. Just trust the process. Everything will be fine in the end. We're gonna powder her up. Oh my gosh. I'm a little aggressive when I'm powdering. You probably shouldn't be this aggressive, but I am. Also, if you're wondering why this is green, I did a green zombie look. I couldn't get it all out of here, so it's not mold, it's green face paint. I'm not super happy with the coverage. I really want a bit more coverage before I start going in with foundation, so I'm gonna do a bit more of the tattoo cover, like peachy orange. You're supposed to put on everything, then powder at the end. But especially when we're doing like special effects style stuff, you're gonna have to break that rule because you just do. I feel like that covered a lot more, and I will say it's not perfect, obviously. I want to be very like transparent about the fact it does not look perfect at all. I've got a lot of little places that are doing their thing, but I'm gonna powder this one more time real quick. Now that I've powdered that, I mean, we are covered. So now I'm gonna be taking this brush. I'm gonna be using a shade that's a touch dark for me, because a rule in makeup is you really want to use darker shades to hide things and then lighter shades to bring them forward. So because I want to make sure you can't see this as much, I'm going to use something a touch darker than my regular skin tone. Nothing crazy, but we're doing just a bit. I'm really spreading it on there. And I'm going to start off just kind of getting a general coat on there. Nothing crazy, nothing, you know, too wild or out there. Base coat, I am gonna blend it out a touch with my fingers just to kind of blend it into the rest of my face. Also, because you're doing your eyebrows, just give yourself a tan unibrow at this point. It's just gonna make your life easier in the long run to just go ahead and connect it, and it's really gonna make it look a little less fake. And now in some of these places you can see where it's a little bit darker, or especially where I've got all these little bumpy places, I'm gonna really pack on. Look how much product I have, if it'll show you. Look at that, I got a buildup of product right there. And I'm just gonna lay it down. Just this nice, thick coat. I've got like a lot of right here that's really polka dotted looking because my hairs are trying to peek through. So I'm gonna get a really heavy, thick layer there. That's kind of the magic of this, is you can just lay it on. But I'm gonna do that. I'm just gonna do one eyebrow at a time, really getting thick coats over where it really needs it to be covered. Nothing crazy, nothing wild, just a bit more coverage. Also, the eyebrow covering just is a process. It's gonna take you forever. You just need to accept that at this point. Now that I'm pretty happy with how that's covered, I've got a couple little spots, but once I've done everything else, it's not gonna be the end of the world. So I'll say, look how much better that looks in that. See? Now, while it's still really wet, I'm gonna powder her. Because, yeah, we don't want it starting to sink into our skin, because then it'll ruin everything we just put work into. Pack it in. Some people tell you to like pack on powder and bake it, and you can do that. With the powder I'm using, it's harder to do that, to get like a really thick layer the Mehron translucent that I do have at home. I like to bake with that if I was doing this. But look at that. No eyebrow, still a little bit. So really quick, I'm going to cake this up and powder it off screen. Now that my eyebrows are fully covered, I'm pretty proud of them. We are going to move on to getting down that base. Realizing now I probably should have primed my face before doing that, but I didn't. I'm using the e.l.f. Power Grip. Oh my gosh, I have so much acne right now. It's not even funny. I really get it on my nose, under my eyes, forehead. I'm trying not to touch where I've already done my brows because it feels like a bad idea. I don't know if this is the correct even method to apply this, but it is today. And now that I'm primed, I'm going to be using the L'Oreal True Match in C2.5 because it's a pretty good match for my face. I'm not gonna say it's a great match, but you know what? It's what I'm using today. Actually, wait, before I do that, I'm so sorry. I'm going to be using the L'Oreal True Match Concealing, what is it called technically? Super Blendable Correcting Concealer in shade 401 Bisque, like a lobster bisque. It's very pinky. I like to use this for a bit of color correcting, and I don't know, I feel like I just like the way it makes my under eyes look, so that's why I'm doing it. And I'll do that under my foundation because why not? What's it gonna hurt at this point? I just am gonna do it and we're gonna live with it. I feel like that'll make my base just a little bit better, maybe, who knows. Then I'm gonna take this, probably use too much, but it's okay. I don't like the color, but we're just gonna live with it right now. If I look a little yellow, I look a little yellow because you know what, I don't care. This is a mess. I'm also going to, before I do any setting, I'm going to be doing a bit of concealing. But I'm taking this Ben Nye Cream Highlight in Ultralight, taking it just on my finger, and I'm gonna oh wow, that is paler than I thought it was gonna be, so I'll really have to blend her out, but I'm gonna be doing it here. Getting a really bright under eye just for a good base. I mean, this is a very aggressive makeup look, so it's not gonna be like a crazy big deal. Also, I'm gonna get a bit in this kind of general region to really bring that forward. Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm liking that. I'm gonna use my beauty blender and blend it out a bit, especially because I've still got some foundation on here, so maybe it'll soften her out a bit. I'm liking that. And then I'm going to be taking a different thing to apply my powder because, I don't know, I prefer the sponge if I'm really packing it on, but I have this little guy. For setting this, I'm gonna use my e.l.f. setting powder. That, which one? I think it's the Halo Glow. Let me see. A Halo Glow setting powder in shade light pink. Which would be really nice because my skin, I have a very pinky skin tone. Ugh, I'm getting under eye wrinkles from not setting quick enough. I'm very pink, so using something like this is really nice for me since a lot of foundations tend to pull a bit yellow on my skin. So when I use this, it brings out a little bit more of a natural shade. Obviously not perfectly natural because this doesn't even look like my skin tone, but I'm just rocking with it today. I'm feeling pretty good about that. So, let me close this up. Next thing I'm gonna do is get out some contour. We're gonna start doing some contouring. So for my contouring, I'm going to be using the Ben Nye Cream Shadow Cream Contour in medium brown. And then also because Trixie, oh, my nose is itchy, has a very sharp line, I'm going to be using, you guys can see there's my reference photo, and then there's, I was watching YouTube every time I pause. We're gonna use this, and I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna use my finger. You know what, you guys can get over it. If you have an issue with it, then just stop watching the video, I guess. I'm gonna be trying to do, I would say this is probably a good line. This is where it gets completely experimental because I don't know what I'm doing. I'm getting a bit on my finger. Ooh, that's too much. That's gonna look like a crab stand. I mean, it's gonna have to be more than that, but I'm thinking that's kind of doing what I needed it to do. I'm going on a limb and say that's not it, but I mean, I can probably like, because it's slightly, it really and truly does slightly touch even at the mouth, but it doesn't look good when I do that. So I'm just gonna go back in with this. Ta-da! No more. I'm also gonna just really try and get that triangle vibe, because it's very triangular, and then it's going up kind of into here. This probably would be easier with a brush, but I don't feel like using one, so maybe I'll get a sponge out. I think this could be a sponge situation. Okay, we're gonna really just go in. We're gonna go ham. I think it's blending it a bit better. I'm gonna add just a bit more product, kind of. I'm gonna add it kind of on this edge and then really get it like right up in here too, because the contour kind of goes all the way on the forehead, honestly. I'm gonna go ahead and start on this side getting that. I feel like I'm adding too much, but at the same time it's like, am I even adding enough to create the right shape? Okay, now I think I've added too much, actually. I'll just blend. If I blend it, it'll fix everything. And I'll go ahead and do the other side. Okay, why does that side look so much different? Okay. We're gonna already go ahead and, I feel like it's really rounding out that cheekbone is kind of the vibe. And then going in and smoothing over here. It's so dark, but I think that is the move. That side looks way better than this side. I think I need to just do a little bit of this. I don't know. And I think I'm also going to take my disgusting filled with makeup brush and really just like carve out and make sure that that line is so sharp it's not even funny. Oh yeah, that was the move. I feel like this looks kind of stupid. But at this point, I'm just gonna commit to it because I kind of have to. I also need to contour my nose. So from what I'm looking at, that was definitely done with a brush, but guess who's not getting out a brush now? Me. So like the whole nose is contoured except for like the center from what I'm looking at. Ooh, okay, that's too much though. That's way too much. I'll just... We'll do a little. You know, I'll just grab this tissue and really just. Yeah, because that's a little crazy. That's a little bit more than I think we needed ever. Okay, I think I did it a little too low. Yeah. Sure, that's good for now, I think. I guess now it's time to move on. I'm terrified about the eyes, and that's, I think, what I need to do now. So, I've got a fresh sponge, and I'm terrified. I'm thinking I'm gonna do the white first. I feel like that makes sense in my brain. I'm gonna get this girly, I'm gonna really pack it in. Oh, let me show you that I'm doing that. So I feel like that might be the best course of action if I have like a ton on the brush, or on the sponge. If I do it like that, it might be a little too long, so I'm just gonna kinda... Okay, and then it's like a diagonal from like here. Then I just gotta fill that. Okay, wait. Hear me out though. I do think using a sponge it's really not a good idea. I'm gonna use my finger to fill it in, I think. Use my pinky actually. No, I'm gonna use a brush. I have to use a brush for this, I think. Let's see how she does. Whoosh. Okay, let's see. Okay, she's eating. Cool. I feel like I immediately need to set it, because if I don't, it's gonna start like wrinkling. Ugh, this is kind of a skin tone, so it might not be the best, but it's literally all I have. So unless I want to set it with pink, and that feels like a worse idea. Ugh, it kind of made it tan. I mean, I guess it could be worse though, let's be fair. I'm gonna go out on the other side. I'm just gonna raw dog it. Then we're going to start on the black, which I'm very nervous about, but it'll be okay. Everything's fine. I'm an adult. I'll be using this brush that already has some black on it because I'd use it in class today. And I'm going to be using the black liner shade in this palette I was using earlier. This is terrifying. That's a good shape. Yeah, I'm gonna do it on this side really quick. I feel like the shapes are different, which I don't like, but I'm just gonna have to survive at this point, I think. Well, actually, that I don't love, but if I thicken it up a little bit here, this is where I could be making a huge mistake, but you know what? No, I like it. Yeah. Now time for the big on the top. This is terrifying. So it goes like straight up. Yeah. Sure. Sure. I'm gonna really like... Honestly, I feel like the shape's gonna be so off. I do have really hard eyes. So I'm just realizing that it extends way far behind, but like past the eye, so I didn't realize that. All right, I think I'm happy with that. I am now realizing I don't have a ton of eyeshadows that are colorful here because none came in my kit, but I do have this Christmas Shrek palette, and actually I can work with this. There's pink enough. Also, I have my blush from my kit, so I could always use that. Okay, I'll just do that. Okay, I'm realizing that this one's not matching the way I want it to, so I'm gonna do a little bit more here. Then also, I just realized before I do any eyeshadow color, I really should go ahead and do the eyebrow because that is a big part of it. I'm a little bit concerned because obviously, while I do have highlights in my hair is brown and Trixie's is blonde, and Trixie's brows are blonde, especially in the reference photo I'm using. In that, Trixie has very pale brows, so I think I'm gonna match Trixie's brows. I feel like that's what I should do because, you know, I'm trying to look like Trixie. Decisions. So in order to do the eyebrows, I'm gonna kind of have to mix up a shade. I'm using a bit of this, which is just not my skin tone. Use the back of my brush and just scrape a little bit out. Oh, let me show what I'm doing. Get some product and then just twirl it on. I'm gonna get a bit of this just to darken it a bit. I'm gonna go little by little with this because I don't want to darken it too much. I feel like that's actually a pretty perfect color. So I'm gonna go ahead and do eyebrows, and I feel like most drag queens do their eyebrows off camera, so it's probably gonna be crazy difficult, but you know what? I'm balling today. I'm just gonna go for it. Okay, this is terrifying. This could ruin everything. Okay. So far, everything has not been ruined. I just left them like this. Just a little angry. I'm gonna get a different brush because this brush is not doing what I needed to do. I'm using this tiny little brush. I think it's gonna give me the right swoop I need. I think they're too light. I think I need a bit more of this brown just because it is so light where I can't even see them. I need to be able to see what I'm doing, you know? I think the shape is okay. I think it's hard to see because it's too light. Would it be bad to just leave it like that? I'm gonna leave it like this, honestly. I'll add like a little bit of brown back to my like mix on my hand just to get it a little bit darker, and then I'll kind of go where I've already painted, just like darken it up a touch to make it easier to see. I feel like it's not reading well at all. See, that's reading back. Trixie's are way thinner than this, but you know what? Creative liberties, okay? I'm gonna take some creative liberty here just because I can, and I'm just struggling to get it exact. See, I think that's kind of a vibe actually. They're actually better match now, like color-wise. I feel like shape-wise, they could be worse. They could be a lot worse. So in the reference photo I'm using, there's no shimmers, but because I am doing pink and I have a plain pink blush, I can use that, but I'm also using these, and this is mostly shimmers. Like there's a couple non, but the pink ones are shimmers. So I think I'm gonna do this purpley kind of shade right there. I feel like that's kind of a pretty, use this brush, it's probably not the correct brush, but I'm gonna do it, like really load her up. I really just need that pigment. I'm gonna try and like lay it here. Yeah, that's right. Oh, it's kind of more red than I thought. It's fine. It's fine. Yeah. That's good enough for me. Honestly, good. And then I'm going to be using this blush, which I'm also realizing I still need to do blush. I was going to do it last because I feel like that's what Trixie does. Also, I think this brush might be too big to do eyeshadow, but you know what? I'm going to make it work. So I'm going to just do it like on this pointed part, and I'm going to just... Oh, it's going to apply weird to where the glue and stuff is, isn't it? We're just going to feather it. Yeah, it's fine. It's whatever. Oh hell yeah. Actually, I'm eating. I'm cooking. I'm eating, I'm cooking, I'm serving. I'm Trixie Mattel. Trixie Mattel was dying. Ew, that was Shane Dawson-y. Gross. Anyways, using this brush with black on it. There's this detail line like right, yeah, between the two colors, which my colors are very similar, so this is gonna suck. It's like, boom, that works. That single-handedly kind of ruined the look. I feel like I should use a different color. You know what? No. I'm saving it because I'm going to add a different color right there. I have an idea. And then I kind of need a new brush, but I'll just use this that I used for the original. I think I'm going to use blue because I want to. And I feel like it's going to kind of do something fun for this. I feel like it's really going to make it... It's an homage to the old contacts. That's what it is. It's an homage to Trixie's old blue contacts. Also, this was the wrong brush for this. But it's okay. I'll figure it out. Okay, I kind of like it actually. Now it is time to do some cleanup work. Looking at this, I mean, there is a very clear white cutting out happening under the eyebrow, which is kind of terrifying me, but okay. Yes, give us nothing. Cute. I'm gonna actually add a little bit of white to this too, which is a little crazy, I know, but I feel like it is there in the picture I'm using. Really, like, I think it's also partially just like highlighting that cheekbone. I like what that did, I think. Yeah. And then I'm gonna get the black back out. I think I kind of am eating. I'm kind of obsessed with it. I do need to do my lips because they're very small. They're very tiny right now. And I need to add lashes. So this is going to be so surprising. I don't have Trixie size lashes. I know. I do have these half naked. I love these girlies. I'm gonna use these for the bottom. So I thought about just not using any for the bottom, but I feel like I need to. I feel like I'm committing this hard. I'm gonna do it, I guess, right up against this line is probably gonna be my best bet. Oh, I should turn them the other way so they are like downward facing, shouldn't I? Which means I put it on this eye. I mean, they're smaller, but I think it's okay. Ah, these under eyes are gonna be the death of me. I wish I had some sort of like white setting powder, but I just don't. I'm gonna do the other side. Okay, so here's Miss Girl. They look a little crazy, but I'm gonna be using these. I'm gonna be putting on, I think I'm gonna try and do it like in my crease of my eye, because I know that's what some drag queens do. I don't think Trixie does, but I'm gonna try it, and then I might end up adding another pair. I might do 2 pairs. I'm gonna do these off camera because I do not trust my ability for this, so I did it. Okay, so I think the lashes are crazy, but I think that's the move. And I think it's time for the lips. I feel a bit sacrilegious because I just sharpened this with a pencil sharpener because I couldn't find my other sharpener, but so we are overlining to the max. I think here be a good place to start. Yeah, it's pretty good actually. Okay, so it's definitely thicker on the sides, so this is very funny to me. I think I look insane. Then I'm gonna use this light pink here. I think that's gonna be a good move with my fingers, because of course I am. If you're watching the video right now, up to this point, you shouldn't be surprised I'm using my fingers. Okay, I've got such a ridge right here. That sucks. I wish I could cover that ridge a little bit, but I don't know if I can. Let me see if I can try something. If I darken, using this kind of darker red, if I darken where the light hits, and then use just a touch of white where the darker shadow lies. Actually, I think that did something. Okay, so here is the final look. Don't look at it up close. It's not necessary. You're not seeing it up close, but look. Honestly, she's not perfect, but I think I kind of ate. If I had better materials, I'm actually really proud of it. But if you are still here, I'm guessing you enjoyed this video, so tap that like button, subscribe. You can find me on Instagram and on TikTok at mjs_geeky_glam. I will try and remember to link them in the description below. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed. Probably don't use this as a tutorial, but let's hope Miss Trixie Mattel sees it. Yeah, bye guys.